Hey, what is going on? You keep refrigerated after opening Krabby. Today we're playing some games with Morpeko VMAX. I've been trying out a bunch of different spread decks on my stream the other day. I stream pretty much daily over on Twitch, except for Thursdays. Twitch.tv/AzulGG. Link in the description. Go check out the live stream. Been playing a bunch with the new Vivid Voltage cards. Morpeko was one of the spread decks I was trying out, and it felt pretty good. Made quite a few adjustments compared to the list that I had brought to you guys previously with the Zigzagoon and the Scoop Up Nets, which also felt pretty good, actually, to be honest. But we got some new potential partners or cards to add to the deck with the release of Vivid Voltage. We got the Orbeetle VMAX, which I've been trying out as a 1/1. It's been pretty good so far. Not sold on it 100% yet. And then we also have the Telescopic Sight, which I'm 100% sold on, as it makes our spread attacks do 30 more damage to V and GX Pokemon, which is kind of insane. Yeah, very much sold on the Telescopic Sight. So that means if we max discharge with Morpeko, our main attacker, Lightning Colorless with the max discharge 180, 20 to each of our opponent's benched Pokemon. If we got the Sight, we do 50 to the Vs and GXs. So specifically up against like a Dedenne on the bench, if we max discharge 3 times with Telescopic Sight to get up to 150 on the Dedenne, we Eerie Beam once. That KOs that Dedenne, which means we can potentially KO games in 3 turns that much faster because we get those 2 prizes off those Dedennes on the bench. Besides that, not too much change from my other build. 2 Boltund in here. We choose to go second, try and electrify turn 1. Of course, we got the Koko Prism, 2 Dedenne, 1 Crobat for the ability draw support, a Phione to maybe move our opponent's active after we hit it, because we don't want to, sometimes hit twice with the max discharge. We want to clean them up with the spread damage, so having a reliable way to just push our opponent's active out of the way with the Phione is super nice. 4 Calm, 4 Quick Ball for the Pokemon Search, 2 Stamp, because coming back when our opponent has gotten a big advantage is super nice. 4 Switch, 3 Air Balloon, very aggressive with the mobility card, especially now that we have the Orbeetle VMAX. We definitely want an Air Balloon on this guy at all times if we can find one for it. 1 Chaotic Swell, keep those pesky stadiums out of play. I'm still not sold on this. I almost want a second one. It was more effective against Hearth decks, or Welder decks that have the giant Hearth, but currently at 1 Swell to have some kind of stadium replacement than none. 3 Boss's Orders, and then 4 Marnie for research in the draw support line. And that's it. That is the list. Check out the live stream. Link in the description. Let's go ahead. Let's get into some games. Okay, get into our first game. We win the coin flip, but we do want to go second. Turn 1 electrify is what we're looking to do, and it looks like we're set up pretty well for that already. I can open the Morpeko, calm away the Phione, switch into a Boltund Telescopic Sight to the Morpeko, and yeah, just need a Marnie into an energy, or we could research. Depends on what our opponent does, and we'll decide between the 2, the Marnie or the research. Our opponent opens a Koko Prism themselves, so they are probably playing a Pikarom deck, or I guess like the Mewtwo Pikarom deck, something like that. Some kind of, there's a Surfetched, so that's not great for us. But we do have the Orbeetle we could potentially attack with. I don't think I mentioned this. I am playing 2 Aurora Energy right now. So let's go calm, get rid of this, grab ourselves a Boltund, and probably grab the Beetle as well. And now that I got this Quick Ball, I'm definitely going to Quick Ball away the Marnie. Also, they had a pretty slow turn 1, so I don't really want to like give them more cards to work with or anything like that. So then research, just need an energy of some type. Ooh, there we go. Air Balloon, I kind of want to attack. I might want to attack with the Morpeko. I might want to attack with just the Boltund actually next turn as well. I'm just going to hold the Air Balloon for now. I'm a little bit undecisive as to, whoa, all right, we priced 2 basic lightnings. All right, they don't play a ton of basic lightnings anymore, because I am trying out 2 Aurora Energy, something I didn't mention in the deck list breakdown. We do have 2 Aurora Energy in here to have the option to attack with the Orbeetle VMAX. I have yet to use it. I only just recently added the Auroras. I've only played a couple games with the Auroras in there. I haven't attacked with the Orbeetle VMAX yet, but they are in there for that option. Yeah, so it is the Mewtwo. I mean, I don't even know what you call it. The Mewtwo deck. Excuse me. The Mewtwo box deck. I'm sure they're looking for an Electrify here still, so probably still looking for a Boltund of their own to be able to attack with, I would assume. There is the Bats. They haven't attached yet. Yeah, like I said, still probably looking for that Boltund There's a quick ball, so they got the Electrify off this turn. The question is, big question is, did they get an Aurora? Oh no, it's a Dedenne. They're going for a Dedenne change here. I don't even know what they could use for an attack. They don't even have an attack available this turn, actually. But they didn't have an energy in the hand. They found the quick ball, but no energy. I'm pretty sure this was from the research that they started their turn with. So they've just had like a pretty horrible opening here. They can just set up for the Surf Fetched, though. There's nothing stopping them just setting up for the Surf Fetched play and not even really going down the route of needing to go into the Electrify, into a full Blitz or Raichu or whatever, as we see them run to their Crobat. So this is like lining up super well for us, actually, just to go with Morpeko here, which I think is what we're going to go with. Dash, quick Air Balloon. Quick ball the Boltund. I think we just get another Morpeko V. Actually, I could grab the Koko Prism here. It is a possibility my opponent chases it down and knocks it out. I don't think they're going to do that, though. And then research, we're looking for just an energy here. Speed Lightning is great. Some extra cards to work with. Yeah, I never really hurt anybody. All right. Go ahead and retreat to the VMAX. And just max discharge, I guess. This is a ton of damage in play. And our opponent really has no response to this scenario at all. There's nothing they can do to respond to this setup. They don't have anything. There's no possible play for our opponent to make. We've got them in quite the spot here. Quite the spot for sure. There's like no play for our opponent to make at all. No play that they can make. Not a play at least that I see. No play that I see. We'll see if they've got a play that I don't see, I guess. But I think we've got them pretty much locked up here. We'll see if they got anything else that they can do. Here comes a quick ball. There's the Boltund finally. They can use Electrify here, but I feel like it's a little bit too little too late. They'll finally get off their Electrify, but we have put so much damage in play already. I'm about to go set up another Morpeko. The Orbeetle, we can get the Orbeetle on the VMAX online on this turn. I can actually KO the Surf Fetch, so even if they get an Aurora in play this turn, and then find an Aurora for next turn, even if they could attack with it, it won't do anything. If we can just take that Aurora out of play that they were to put in play this turn, I can just bring up, or just bring up the Fetched and knock it out. There's that Aurora I was talking about. But if I just knock out the Surf Fetched, they can't even use it anyways. Utilize this Aurora or the second Aurora. So we're just gonna go ahead and knock out the Surf Fetched. Here comes the Koko Prism Pop to the Mewtwo and the Raichu, I assume. Yeah, Mewtwo and the Raichu. And Dedenne change. But I think we're just in we're like in too good of a spot for it to matter at this point, to be honest. Comes a Cherish Ball. Thin out the deck again. Nothing they can really use. They can't utilize the card they get here. Their bench is locked. But yeah, our hand is ridiculously good. It's just over basically at this point. There's no way we lose anymore at this point. We are too far ahead. We're going to take out the Surf Fetch, so that's not a threat on the next turn, and then we're just 2 prize cards away from winning the game. So we got the Morpeko top deck, so I'm going to go ahead and bench Morpeko, attach the Speed Lightning, attach the Sight, calm away the Dedenne, grab myself that Orbeetle VMAX, and potentially use that next turn to clean up like that Dedenne on the bench. Nothing else I really need to use here, so just boss the Fetched, remove that as a threat, swing, and yeah, like I said, the Dedenne set up, so if we can just like switch into the Orbeetle VMAX, use the Eerie Beam, and then max discharge, the Dedenne gets knocked out. That's our last 2 prize cards. We can knock out the Boltund, we can knock out the Mewtwo, we can knock out the Raichu, we can knock out the other Dedenne. Everything gets KO'd here. Yeah. Looking like a easy dub here in this one. Looking like an easy dub for sure. Here's a switch into the Mewtwo. And going with the Darkest Tornado. So they do take out my Morpeko. But it is not going to matter overall. I am going to send up Boltund. How much do we do with this guy right now? 200. So we can just use the Orbeetle VMAX here to win the game. Aurora Energy, sort of, I don't know, quick ball, pop the Koko here and here. All right, well, we use the Orbeetle, retreat, and yeah, 200 damage there would have taken the knockout, and we get that dub over that the Lightning Mewtwo box there. All right, we're into another one. Do not want to go first. Want to go second. Turn 1, Electrify. Ideally, we basically have the exact same start that we just had in the last game. Sight, Calm, Boltund, Switch, Attach, Research. We're up against a Rillaboom deck of sorts here from our opponents. We see there's a Rillaboom in there at the very least, so it's probably Rowlet Executor, Rillaboom something. So we definitely want to hold off on our Koko as long as possible, because the Rowlet Executor's GX attack does shuffle over energy back into our deck. Gotta be careful of that. We'd probably just go back into an Electrify if we could. Yeah, our hand is pretty much the exact same hand we literally had in the last game. Comes that tag call, no surprise. I'm sure the what's it called about to make its way out here. Rowlet Executor, like I said, and then yeah, they're gonna try and get out their Rillaboom, go from there. GX attack, something we have to be wary of. And Double is a very good attacker in this deck, so our spread damage is going to be a little bit limited. Might even try and look to set up the Orbeetle VMAX. We only do play 2 Auroras, but if we can find it, it'd be pretty good. There's a Mewtwo, actually. We saw them grab, so maybe it's more of a Mewtwo build. I don't know what other attacks that really allows them to get access to. Maybe stuff like Incineroar is a possibility. Now we got a Marnie, so we could go with a Marnie play instead. The Boltund's here, the 1/1 Beetle's there. Yeah, we could go with Marnie instead now, actually, to be honest. Attach this, switch, Sight, saves a supporter, but they don't have a Grookey down yet, so I don't want to like help them find that either, so I'm just gonna go like this. Quick Ball here. Nothing I really want to Quick Ball, to be honest. They'll probably get rid of the basic energy here, it's not that bad. Gonna get this Beetle and get this Air Balloon on the Beetle, excuse me. Another Morpeko down, and then yeah, go ahead and Electrify, set up this first Morpeko. Yeah, I guess like if our Boltund goes down or something, this does work. Well, set up the Koko Prism, or if I ever want to use Koko Prism, now I have an energy in there to utilize with it. And they do Marnie me, I do save the Dedenne, which is my main reason to want to hold onto the Dedenne here. I want to keep the switch, because if they do use this Phione here, I'd want to send up something like this Morpeko, and then have to be able to switch back out of it if I felt like there was a threat for any of these. But I guess there probably won't be, because they probably just want to use that Super Growth this turn. So it probably won't be that big of a deal. Maybe overthought that a little bit and didn't really need to play around that situation. All right, we have pretty much everything we need here. Okay, so those are the kind of options they're gaining here, it looks like, from playing the Mewtwo. We saw the Snivysaur, the Buzzwole, Pheromosa, and it looks like they're going to go with a Jet Punch off the rip here, but no Grookey, so no Rillaboom, which is what I would really be scared of here. So I feel like we're in a ridiculously good spot here now. Go ahead and calm away the Koko to grab ourselves that VMAX. Not going to put the Air Balloon in play, then just go ahead and Crobat, because I want to Sight here on this Morpeko. Speed Lightning, and then I'm not going to Marnie. I don't want to play any of this, really. I'll put the Swell out. But I don't want to Marnie. I don't want to research this hand. We could Boss, actually. I don't know what I'd really Boss here, though. Just go ahead and max Discharge. They are playing the Mewtwo, so they could play something like the Incineroar GX to use the Darkest Tornado. And there's the concession. I don't really blame them there. They didn't really have much going on, and we kind of had everything we needed. So, yeah, it's a fair concession. All right, into another one. Our opponent won the coin flip this time, but still chose for us to go second, or still chose for them to go first. So it's good for us. Get to go second again. That's what we want. We want to use that turn 1 Electrify. Once again, basically have the same hand. This time we'll have to put an Air Balloon on our Morpeko V, which we really don't want to do. Because it does mean that we can't get the Sight on it as well. So we definitely want to go calm away the VMAX, get the Boltund, and attach a Speed Lightning, try and find a switch or another card to get us a switch, because I really do not want to put the Air Balloon on the Morpeko V. Really want that Telescopic Sight there. Our opponent is playing Eternatus, and it looks like a Poison Eternatus build. Yeah, by the looks of it, looks like a Poison Eternatus build. So they can get those one-hit KOs on our Morpeko VMAX, unfortunately. There's a Research. Okay, so that gives us a lot of outs into that potential switch, and I might even just go for it. See how many switch are in here. There's 4. So yeah, I'm attached to Speed Lightning, and then I'm probably just gonna go for the switch here. So we got a bat. We got the switch. Just drew into it. So definitely got it. Could bat. Could Research. could just electrify and use neither. I kind of like that. I don't think we're really forced to use anything else here. We have the speed lightning for the third energy for the VMAX next turn. Then we could bat and then research after that. Excuse me. Our opponent could also Marnie us this turn, and then we get to save the bat and the research for the future turn. So, and if we used either of these and they Marnied us anyways, we wouldn't make a whole lot of progress anyways. The one thing we could have gotten into play here, I guess, would have been that Orbeetle V. If it was in the deck with the VMAX, then it would have been worth setting up that, I guess. But that's about the only thing I think that would be worth setting up, really. Besides that, there's nothing really worth setting up. Looks like our opponent is going for the knockout here. They're currently short one Pokemon, unless it's a Zigzagoon, or two Pokemon, unless they have a Zigzagoon, another Zigzagoon, because that would ping up to 180 left. There is the Goon. All right, so they get the... Oh, but they're not going with the damage on the Boltund here. That's a little curious why they would ping the Morpeko. Maybe they have another basic. Okay, they got another basic, so it makes sense to ping the Morpeko then, for sure. All right, so yeah, the one thing we could have set up was Orbeetle here. I don't know how much. I mean, it wouldn't matter to KO these goons eventually, actually. So we can still get one spread from the Orbeetle on the goons. We'll still be in a good spot. This is looking really bad for us, though, especially if they get this Crushing Hammer. As oh my goodness, we are in a terrible spot. Yeah, they kind of play everything in here. They got the Poison Package, they got Turbo Patch, Crushing Hammer, and goons. Yeah, just a little bit of everything. Just a small bit. Oh boy, this is gonna be a tough one for sure. It's still winnable. I want to believe it's still winnable. It's gonna be tough though. I don't think we're gonna be able to attack with the Morpeko this turn. I want to run to something. The Orbeetle is in here. Let's see what we could run to here. Maybe just a plan to run to a Boltund. Run to Boltund. I'm gonna play the Marnie. We could find like Koko, yeah, we could have found like Koko VMAX, a bunch of stuff like that, but we didn't find any of that. That's fine. I don't think we had to attack there. I'm gonna go ahead and quick ball. I mean, we're kind of just restricted to one VMAX here, which we can win with just one VMAX. If they ever have boss KO this, I think we just lose. So I'm gonna give up my Morpeko here. And I am going to look to set up that Orbeetle as soon as possible. And then pass. So we basically have to be like, okay, KO my Boltund, please. Thank you. And then we have to attack with Morpeko into this. Twice, knock it out, and hope they just kind of don't set up another VMAX. I feel like is kind of our out here. I feel like that's just kind of our only thing to do here is that. We have to really hope they don't get boss. If they get boss KO or Morpeko V, we do just lose this game. This game will just end. Maternus has always felt like kind of a tough matchup for the Morpeko, not gonna lie, it's always felt kind of tough. Definitely winnable. It's not unwinnable or anything, but it's just tough. Really tough matchup for sure. And this game is a good example of why it is such a tough matchup. Just a lot of damage, really fast. It's hard for us to keep up, etc. It's just tough. It's just tough. That's all I got. Tough matchup, man. All right, we're gonna get to attack. Got a Marnie. Could go with the research. We could look for that stamp to 2, which I think is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the research here. We do need quite a few cards to try and make this turn work. Isn't quite everything we're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and calm back the Dedenne. Grab myself the Crobat. Air Balloon, attach. Quick Ball the Sight. Gonna go ahead and grab anything here, and then we're gonna calm that away to grab the VMAX, so we will be able to attack with the VMAX this turn. 2 reset stamps in the deck, so can definitely find those here. See what we get. Reset stamp. Okay, stamp them low. We got the VMAX as well. That is also what we were looking for here. How many basic lightning do we have in there? Just one. We could just Koko it over to the Orbeetle right now. Doesn't really matter yet, I don't think. If they have a boss, they kind of just win anyway. So I think we just... Well, they could Marnie, so I may as well bench this. And if they have a boss, they win anyway. So they're not going to boss and KO my Koko Prism. They would just take out my Crobat to win the game. Or we're going to go ahead and swing here. Trying to come up with how we win from here. I actually am not sure yet. Crushing Hammer. You hate to see it. It is a heads. Unfortunate. But we're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, Dread End. All right, we could try and trap something in the active here. All right, so we could attack this with the Orbeetle. So let's see. We can go attach this here. Get rid of this. Dance onto this. How many boss do we have left? Do we ever want to boss? We can hit this for, I'm just doing 150, 330. We could knock this out actually this turn. And then how do we draw the rest of our prize cards is the question. We'd have 3 prize cards left. We'd spread once. Yeah, the question from there is how do we draw the rest of our prize cards? They're down 3 Crobat, but they could still have 1 more Crobat. So I almost don't want to draw prize cards here, but I do want to hit this to set it up to get knocked out. So we can go like retreat and then 150. Let's see, we could hit and then we could like boss up the Croagunk, try and trap it, spread. Let's just draw some prize cards, I guess. Then do I want to research here? Only have 1 boss left. All right, just go ahead and research. Guess I shouldn't have retreated yet. I was like kind of already so far ahead along in my head though. I just like lost track of what I was trying to do. All right, Eerie Beam. I still don't think we have a great win condition here. At least I don't see a great one. G-Max Wave. We do get this knockout. They have another return to set up. We've now opened up a bench space for them. So if they have Quick Ball in the hand, now they can Quick Ball for their last Crobat or Great Ball into the Crobat. They've got some options there. And we don't win anytime soon is kind of the problem. We could go Eerie Beam. Like still, once again, trying to come up with an out to win. We could retreat to this Morpeko. We can Eerie Beam, attach here. Go to this guy, switch back into this. Eerie Beam, and then attack with Max Discharge. Okay, so that is our game plan. Plus Boss or Phione to force someone else up there would be the plan. Oh, wait, we're poisoned? Nope, they don't quite knock us out. Actually, they're passing. They're not even setting up this Eternatus. Well, they don't have a way to move that Slowbro. Okay, so we're going to evolve to this VMAX. Eerie Beam. I'm going to go ahead and Quick Ball away. I don't know, an Energy here, I guess. Grab the Phione. We have 1 switch left. Attach here. Draw 2. Could boss something now. But we know they're dead drawing. And everything else has 1 retreat cost. So this thing has a higher chance to just stay stuck. So I think I just retreat to this guy. Because then they will also need a basic Pokemon, not just a switch card. Because they'll do 3. Yeah. And we have 1 switch left. So we're going to retreat. And then we're going to pass. We can draw the rest of our deck next turn. I can bench the Phione right now to have that ready to go. And pass. So yeah, the higher chance this gets stuck compared to everything else. Because it does have 3 retreat cost. So next turn, oh no, they top decked Com or Pokemon. One of the 2, they could have had the other one in the hand. Here comes Crobat. Do they find themselves a switch card? Or is that last Crobat prized? That's also a possibility. Their 4th Crobat could be prized here. And that could be our out to win here. So our opponent just doesn't have access to that Crobat. And that's a Croagunk. I think we've done it here. I think we've won. Crazy comeback in this one. I was thought for sure we were going to lose, but we're going to get the dub here. We have a switch left in the deck. There it is. Switch to the Orbeetle. Gonna spread with Eerie Beam. Again, setting up these Zigzagoons on the bench. And then we have the energy for the Morpeko. We retreat and then Max Discharge. And we get the dub here over the Eternatus. We were in a terrible spot early on, but we managed to pull it back. And yeah, Orbeetle carried hard in this one. We used the attack. We used the ability a bunch. Seems like it's pretty worth it to me. That's going to do it for the games with the Morpeko VMAX. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.